Hello, this is a new episode of Show Up with Sarah, and I'm really happy to share it. I actually have been wanting to kind of get back here and talk and publish the episodes that people willingly gave their time to me to be interviewed on, and I haven't pushed yet. Um, but I'm going to explain why I haven't. What have I been up to? That's the point of today's episode. What have I even been up to over the past few months? Because I effectively like shut down my business. I haven't been posting consistently. I haven't been posting with the attempt of getting new clients. I haven't been pushing my podcast episodes. So like, what the heck have I been doing? And one of the reasons I haven't really talked about it is because there's some pride, right? Like, if I tell you guys that I'm almost 38, living in my dad's basement, working a part-time job, that stings, stings a little. The other side of it is I realized that if I was talking about exactly where I was on today, every day, um, then I would be getting feedback that isn't from God. And that's effective. That's pretty much what I've been up to. I've been working on my faith. I've been really working on my faith in a way that I don't think you could have I could have ever predicted. Um, and so I know that I may lose some people who hear that and they go, "Oh, okay, Sarah's going to talk about God a bunch." I'm like, ugh. And I get that. Trust me, I recently have learned that there is too much talking about it for me. But that's not what this is. I just want to give you guys an update. I never push my things. I try to never push my stuff onto other people. So this is just to give you some info, right? So yeah, what have I been up to? I briefly touched in an Instagram like questions thing. Um, the fact that I recently had a really big heartbreak and I couldn't talk about it because of all of the details surrounding it and the people that are involved in it. Um, but it was tough. It was a tough one. It was a very tough one, and it sucked. And it that wasn't the catalyst. That wasn't the single catalyst of like me being like broken and broken open, but the positive thing in that relationship was the fact that it was the first time I allowed myself to be really open and really soft with another person. And I realized in contrast that with my relationship with God, I hadn't been that way and I don't know how long. And like I said, I've always had a relationship with God, but it's been really superficial. I wasn't existing in intimacy in that relationship. Which, if you have faith, if you have a relationship with God, you know is kind of like necessary, right? So after I moved here, and a few months after, I was kind of dealing with that heartbreak of this year long thing, and it just really got me into a space of being here, being in a basement, living at my dad's, um, struggling with what I'm doing and where I'm going, and I don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know, and feeling heartbroken and not chosen once again, which has just been a theme, right? Um, all of it compounded, and it's been years of just things that have compounded, right? And so I found myself in a place where I felt like I was just really kind of broken open, and I surrendered everything to God because I was just tired. I was really tired of I always have to do for myself. Um, and I always am kind of alone, which we all know is not true. But um, and so about like 2 months ago, I started going to church. Like I said, I completely just surrendered. I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's next. And I just don't have the energy or the foresight to be able to predict any of it, to fix any of it. And I'm really blessed because things started working like literally in time, exactly as they were supposed to. And I was really obeying little things that were leading to just bigger things. It's why I took a part time job. And now on the other side, 2 months later, I can see exactly why I was supposed to take this job and the change and the impact that's had in my life and the people around me. And, I'm studying more, I'm reading more, and the relationship I have it's it makes me laugh because my whole life I have just wanted to be chosen. Quite literally, I've always thought I just want a guy to choose me. And all the time I was racing toward a thing that had already happened. In my relationship with God in the Bible, it says he chooses us. He chose you, he chose me, right? And I think, well, I'm not going to go into it because I want to keep this brief, but there's so much to it for me. And I've I've now been in a place where I truly just wanted quiet and time to be able to pray and receive from God instead of constantly trying to get feedback on if this posted well or if my business is doing well or what I need to be doing better because I can always do better, and the control issues that I have lived with my whole life, you know? And I know that someone who's listening to this probably understands exactly what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, and so that's just what I've been up to. And so there is pride in I'm almost 38, working a part-time job, living in my dad's basement, making just enough to cover some stuff and whatever. But the truth is that by society standards, yeah, I am not, this is not looking hot, and maybe I'm falling behind. But in a faith journey, in a whole person journey, in a healing journey, in a health journey, this is hitting the lottery. It is, especially today. What a giant blessing that I have family that I can be like, hey, I'm going to live here. Okay, cool, move in. I have family that want to love me and remind me about who I am. I have so much family around here that I get to just go hang out with, that want to see me, you know what I mean? That I can be really honest and say, hey, I did this thing that is not great and is not a good look. And they don't say, oh my goodness, you're, you know, call me names and label me. They just say like, well, why did you do that? And like, what do you need to do so that you don't do that again? You know what I mean? Um, and I'm so thankful that I felt nudge, you know, by the spirit, and I listened because it really has been, it's changed my life. And I have never been enthusiastic about my future the way I am now. I've never been sure about my future the way I am now. I'm so certain that great things and big things are on its way. I'm on its way to it. We're on our way together. I'm so enthusiastic about what's happening. I'm enthusiastic about the man that's gonna have me one day. Like everything feels really enthusiastic and certain. And yet I literally don't know what the heck is going to happen. I don't know what's next. I have no clue. All I know is that I want to live in St. Petersburg because it's diverse and it felt safe and it's really warm and the water is really warm. I'm so tired of being cold literally all the time. And I really loved it when I was there. And I know I want to do that. But outside of that, man, I don't know. And if you know me, you know that that should be the most terrifying thing on the face of the planet to me. Nothing is guaranteed, nothing is set in stone, nothing is clear today. And yet I am so ecstatic. I'm so happy and I'm so good with it. Like I really am. Um and so I can't say, oh, you know what? We're gonna just be killing this podcast. I don't know. I can't say, you know what, I'm gonna start onboarding clients. I don't know. All I know is that I'm looking for ways to do good work consistently. And however that shows up each day is how it's gonna show up. I can do that in my workouts, that I can do. I can do that in cleaning my room, that I can do. I can do that at my part-time job, that I can do. And when something new presents itself, I'm going to do it to the utmost best ability that I have because I want to take glory and value and pride in what I do each day. Um, and so that's a weird response. I know it is. If you would have asked me, I think I said this, if you would have told me 2 years ago, hey, this is where you're going to be in November of 2023, I would have punched you in your face for saying something so crazy to me. And it's not that I never wanted to have this type of relationship with God. I just think that I had a very strong wall between what it meant to have this type of relationship with God and what I was willing to do and give up in order to have that. And so I want to share and pass on my enthusiasm. I want to share and pass on my faith. I hope that if there's nothing else you take from this, that you remember or that you have heard me talk about the fact that I was so certain that depression was going to take my life. And that was just a few years ago. I lived with chronic severe depression from pretty much 14 until I can't do math 34. And in 2019, I was formally diagnosed. And within like a year and a half, I was off my medication, healthy with my therapist. I was off my medication. And I still say that I live with major depressive disorder, but no, it will never be the reason that I'm not here. That's so for me to say today that my enthusiasm and my certainty that not only are great things on its way, but big things, that this time right now is strengthening me and getting me ready to face, honestly, um, that should be a clue enough to you of what this journey has been with my faith, how good it's been, and how changed I am. I'm super happy to say that I'm changed. Um, because I was great before, but like, dang, I had some stuff, you know? So I just wanted to give a brief update. I'm gonna push episodes because like I said, I have some awesome interviews in the chamber, and I'm so sorry to the people that gave me their time and I have just sat on their interviews, but I'm going to trust that these are going to come out at the exact right time. And I'm going to be more consistent on sharing with you guys here because now is the time for me to share. Hey, I still today doesn't look perfect, and I still don't have all of these things that I'm believing for, but I have this faith, and I'm growing, and I want to share it with you guys. Um, so thank you, and have a really awesome day.